Our top stories this week. The Annie E. Casey Foundation's annual Kids Count report is out, showing that many kids were left behind during the economic recovery as poverty all across the United States continues to rise. In Arizona, due to the ever-rising number of stolen kids in the state, the child protective industry wants to speed up the time it takes for wannabes to become foster parents. In Connecticut, a Republican lawmaker is calling on the state's DCF commissioner, Joette Katz, to quit because he believes that she's failed at the job. And in Arkansas, the legislature passes a law making the unauthorized rehoming of adopted children a felony. In Massachusetts, caseloads for CPS agents are continuing to rise even after lawmakers promised that the problem would be fixed. In Mississippi, an agreement and a long-running lawsuit against the child protective industry for widespread systematic failures could lead to CPS becoming its own separate agency. In New York City, a class action lawsuit is being filed on behalf of foster kids who are being abused in state care. In South Carolina, as the number of stolen children continues to rise, the lack of available foster homes is forcing them into hotel rooms. And a number of new lawsuits against the Indian Child Welfare Act are being filed, claiming that it's not always in the best interest of the child to stay in the tribes. In Utah, thanks to a recent Supreme Court decision legalizing gay marriage, more same-sex couples are applying to become foster parents to your stolen kids, thus opening a whole new market of warehousing opportunities for the child protective industry. In Thailand, 2 gay American men can't bring a baby home to the USA after the surrogate mother said no because they were not a normal couple after she realized that they were gay. In Iowa, presidential candidate Scott Walker is confronted by the kids of an undocumented immigrant who asked why he wants to split up their family by deporting their father, leaving him babbling something about nobody being above the law like a total ass. And a federal judge orders the release of immigrant children who have been detained in family detention centers. In Australia, questions are being asked after a foster father who was acquitted of sexually abusing 8 kids becomes a father through surrogacy. In California, a child who was tortured by being chained inside a fireplace, beaten and burned, settles with the state for $4 million because the child protective industry failed to protect him on at least 10 occasions. In Michigan, family and friends said goodbye to a 9-year-old stolen autistic boy who went missing and was found dead in a lake. And in Kentucky, a CPS agent was arrested for letting her friend beat her kids with a belt. In Massachusetts, a boy who was under the watchful eye of CPS was beaten into a coma. And it also comes out that the caseworker who was watching the boy was unlicensed. A Massachusetts state-run facility is under fire after it comes out that boys were hit on their naked backsides with shoes in a ritual that staff referred to as orange chicken. In Wisconsin, a foster mother was arrested and charged with child abuse for pinching, biting, and pulling the ears of a 2-year-old girl. In South Carolina, a woman was charged with having sex with a juvenile inmate at a group home she worked at. And in Tennessee, a foster father who was previously charged with raping foster kids is now also facing child porn charges. In Texas, a young single mother was arrested for leaving her kids a few feet away at a fast food court so she could go to a job interview. In England, a couple of grandparents aged 58 and 70 were told that they are too old to take care of their granddaughter, who was instead put up for adoption. And finally tonight, in British Columbia, Canada, a lawyer was suspended for 2 weeks because of a bad joke to a social worker when he jokingly said, and I quote, "I should shoot you, you take away too many kids." For these stories and all the latest dirt on the child protective industry, visit www.legallykidnapped.com. And until next week, this is Baby LK, over and out.